Let's dive straight into our first story ever. This is how Glooskap made the first evergreen tree. Now Glooskap is our protagonist. He lives in the North American wilderness and he is the god of the forest there. Glooskap strode through his forest as he often did. He saw the trees begin to lose their leaves as the fall was coming and the winter was not far off now. He strode through his forest and he spoke with the animals and the trees and all the plants of his forest kingdom. Glooskap walked past many of the creatures he had already given jobs. Many of the plants he had already given tasks as well. Glooskap began to speak with many of the burrowing creatures of the day. These creatures would be spending most of the winter below ground, only coming out for food and fresh air. And so the burrowing creatures came to Glooskap and he spoke. The first creature Glooskap spoke with was Rabbit. Rabbit came out. He was quite anxious and quite jumpy, but he came out to speak with Glooskap and they began to have a conversation. Glooskap said, Hello, Rabbit. How are you today? And Rabbit said,
Oh, I'm all right. Have you seen Fox around? I think I saw him somewhere near me. Anyway, what is it you wanted to talk about, Glooskap?
Oh, and Glooskap said, I was just wondering how you were and whether your stores would last you through this coming winter. And Rabbit said,
Oh, I do have quite enough food, I think. But I was wondering about the snow, Glooskap. The snow is quite strong, quite heavy snow during the winter. Do we think we could dial that back a bit? I find it quite difficult to get out of my burrow in the winter.
Glooskap said, No, we can't dial the snow back. No, we can't do that, Rabbit. I'm sorry. Rabbit said,
Oh, okay. It's just with all my family, it's just I spend most of my day burrowing out of the snow and don't get to spend a lot of time with them.
I'm sorry, Rabbit, it just isn't in the books. Winter has snow. That's how it is. And so Rabbit said,
Oh, okay. That's all right. Oh, it's Fox!
And Rabbit sprang off into the forest. Glooskap continued on, and seeing Fox himself, he thought, well, this would be a good time to chat with Fox. So Glooskap says, Hello, Fox. How are you?
Oh, hello, Glooskap. I'm quite well. How are you?
And Glooskap, always liking Fox's teeth and his big smile, said, Oh, I'm quite well. Thank you. How are your stores coming for the winter? And do you think you'll be comfortable? And Fox said,
Oh, I think I'll be just all right. I think I'll be just fine. I fitted my den out with a couple of creature comforts this year.
Glooskap said, Okay, don't tell me any more. I think that's enough for me. Fox continued and said,
Well, the thing about the winter, Glooskap, is that we do end up with quite a lot of snow. And down where I live in the den, we just have to spend quite a lot of time burrowing ourselves back out of the snow. You have quite heavy winters, Glooskap, you do.
Well, yes, Fox, that is what I've been hearing from the other animals as well, but the winter just has to have snow, and that is how it is. And so Fox said, Oh,
okay, but maybe we can take it down a notch this year.
Glooskap said, No, I can't do that. But seeing as you and others are asking about this, I think I might have to give it some thought. Maybe I can figure something out.
The Fox said, Okay. I hope you have a good day, Glooskap.
Glooskap said, Thank you, Fox. I hope you have a good one as well. And he carried on his way. Glooskap walked through his forest some more and found Porcupine halfway up a tree. Porcupine, what are you doing halfway up a tree? Says Glooskap. Porcupine climbs down the tree and goes,
I've just been looking out for the snow, Glooskap.
Have you? Really? Did you see any up there? Porcupine says,
No, not quite yet, but I think I'll see it soon. I can smell it in the air.
You can smell it, can you? You sure that wasn't just skunk?
No, it was definitely... Oh, I see what you did there. Very funny, Glooskap.
So they began to speak of Porcupine's stores and whether he would be comfortable during the winter. Porcupine had much the same to say, saying,
"Oh, this ruddy snow, it's not my favorite, not at all."
And so Glooskap thought to himself as he walked away, there must be something I can do. All of these burrowing creatures, they all experience quite a bit of difficulty in the winter when the snow comes and the dens are covered and it's hard to get out, hard to get fresh air. What can I do? What can I do? Glooskap went to sit below Willow, where he often found good consultation. And he just found the atmosphere very pleasing. He sat below Willow and as he sat, Willow woke up and shook her branches and said, "Oh, hello, Glooskap." Glooskap said, "Hello, Willow. How are you?" "Oh, I'm quite all right," said Willow. And Glooskap said, "Good, good. I'm a bit preoccupied today, Willow," said Glooskap. "I've got this query. I've been wondering about the coming winter." "Oh, yes, I lost my leaves months ago." No, it's more about the animals, Willow," says Glooskap. "The animals, the burrowing creatures in particular, they find it quite difficult to get out of the snow. I was wondering what I could possibly do." And so Willow stretched and stood there, as trees do, going, Glooskap said, I think I'd rather have a bit of quiet, Willow, if that's all right." And so he sat there in quiet for a while, and he thought. He thought of many of the animals he had already given a task, the trees, which had already had tasks as well, and wondered what tree or animal would be up to the task. "Willow, please," said Glooskap. "I need a bit of quiet right now. I need to concentrate." And so he sat, pondering his quandary. As snow itself began to fall, the winter had come at last, and he walked through the forest. He walked past the dens of many of the burrowing creatures and noticed that lots of them were at the base of trees already, many of them built into the root structure itself. And he wondered, well, this would be fantastic for many of the trees. I'm sure they all get very good nutrients from all the burrowing creatures below, and the roots are nice and aired and have plenty of access to water in the spring and the summer. So he spoke with one of the first trees he came by. He spoke with a pine tree. Old Man Pine was starting to turn brown. His leaves were starting to fall already in the brisk snow, and he spoke with a brisk voice. "Hello, Pine. How are you?" "Oh, I'm okay. Thank you, Glooskap. How are you?" Glooskap said, "Yeah, I'm okay. Pine, look, I've got this idea, and I think you're the one to help me with this one." Pine said, "Oh, I'm a little bit busy, Glooskap." "No, I don't think you are, Pine. You're a tree, after all." Pine went, "Oh, okay. I'll hear you out." And so Glooskap began to explain his idea. He said, "Pine, during the winter, when the snow falls, many of the burrowing creatures can't get out of their dens, and they spend lots of their time clearing the snow away. And I was wondering if you would consider hanging on to your leaves during the winter. This would enable the snow to build up on the leaves and not fall all the way to the ground. Many of the burrowing creatures would thank you very heavily for it, and I'm sure the nutrients they provide would be beneficial to your roots." Pine straightened himself up and said, "Glooskap, I think I'm the one. I think I'm the man for the job. I can do it, Glooskap." "Fine. I'm excited to see what will happen this year. Your leaves shall not fall in the winter. You shall hang on to them all year round. You shall be the first evergreen tree. And that's why evergreen trees don't lose their needles in the winter, to provide a shelter for the burrowing creatures below, so that the snow does not build up on their doorstep, and they have free access to fresh air and the outside world whenever they please. That's our first story. I hope you liked it, and there's many more coming. I'm sure there'll be a card up here or here to indicate what you might watch next. Anyway, enjoy your Christmas if it is so, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.